How Do I Know If I'm Gay? Presented by the Compass Center Teens Climb High program. A 2017 survey estimated that 10.5% of U.S. high school students identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual. 5% are unsure. Adolescence is a time of identity exploration, and it makes sense for youth to feel unsure about who they are. As adults in their life, we can provide support, love, and resources to help them in their process. It can be hard to talk to your youth about sexual identity and gender expression in particular if you're unsure yourself about what these mean. So let's start with a review. An important starting point is that the concepts of sex and gender are different. This means, for example, that someone with a penis doesn't necessarily identify as a boy. Sex refers to biological sex, the genitals and chromosomes that determine whether we are female, male, or intersex, someone with variant genitalia, chromosomes, or hormones. This is often assigned at birth, when a healthcare provider looks at the baby's genitals and declares it a boy or a girl. Gender identity refers to a person's inner understanding of how they identify, and in our culture includes identities like transgender, man, woman, non-binary, queer, etc. A person's gender identity can either match their biological sex or not. Some folks also explore the space of identity outside of man and woman labels and use terms like queer, non-binary, or gender fluid. LGBTQ+ is an acronym that names various sexual minorities. So what do all of the letters stand for? L stands for lesbian, or women who like women. G stands for gay, or men who like men. B stands for bisexual. These are folks who like both men and women. T can stand for transgender or transsexual. Transgender is a person whose biological sex does not match their gender identity. Transsexual is an outdated term. Q could stand for queer or questioning. Queer is an umbrella term to be more inclusive of the huge variety that make up the LGBTQ community. Questioning is someone who is exploring and discovering their gender identity, expression, or sexual orientation. I could stand for intersex, which is a person whose sexual anatomy or chromosomes do not fit with the traditional markers of female and male. A could stand for ally or asexual. An ally is typically someone who is non-queer who supports and advocates for the queer community. Asexual is an individual who generally does not feel sexual desire or attraction to any group of people. P stands for pansexual, or a person who experiences sexual, romantic, physical, and/or spiritual attraction to members of all gender identities and expressions. We all explore our identities in different ways and use labels that feel right to us. All identities are real and valid. A great graphic to learn more is the Gender Unicorn, which outlines the differences between gender identity, gender expression, sex assigned at birth, and sexual orientation, both physical attraction and emotional attraction. Feel free to Google it for more information. What's important to note is that the language around identity is always evolving. If you're not up to date, try your best, ask questions, and be open to learning more. Unfortunately, a lot of stigma and discrimination exists for LGBTQ+ individuals, causing higher rates of stress, anxiety, depression, and suicide for LGBTQ+ teens. If your young person is coming out or claiming an LGBTQ+ identity, it is really helpful to point them to resources and to explore resources to learn more yourself. Having access to positive resources and affirming adults can be life-changing for LGBTQ+ teens. We encourage you and your young person to check out online and in-person resources like Sex Etc., the Trevor Project, and PFLAG. Also explore whether your area has a local PFLAG chapter, local LGBTQ center, or a gay-straight alliance club at school. These can be affirming, supportive spaces to learn more and connect with others. If your young person comes out to you, that means that they trust you. They showed vulnerability and courage by disclosing something personal. Even if you have different values about gender identity and expression, try your best to acknowledge the difficulty of this disclosure and thank them for telling you. Now it's time to role-play a scenario. Let's say your 10-year-old Ali wants to talk with you. Dad, the kids at school are making fun of me because they say I'm gay. How do I know if I'm gay? Kiddo, I'm so glad that you came to me, and I'm sorry that kids are making fun of you. Let's talk with your teacher about how to make them stop. I'd like you to please let me know if they continue making fun of you, okay? Gay typically refers to boys who like boys. What do you think about that? Well, I don't really know if I like boys or girls yet. And that's okay. It's okay to like boys or girls or anyone. You shouldn't feel ashamed if you have those feelings. If you begin to have other questions about this, I'd love for you to come and talk with me, if you want. Sound good? Yeah, okay. If your young person is a bit older, you could expand on this conversation. Hey, Auntie, can I talk to you? I think I'm gay. Hey, that's wonderful. I'm glad you felt that you could come to me. Can you tell me more about how you realized that? Well, there's this guy in my class, and I think he's cute. But I'm not sure because I hear people saying that being gay is bad, or gay people go to hell, so I don't know. And I used to have that girlfriend in 6th grade, so maybe I'm not gay? Like, how can you really tell if you're gay? Figuring out how you identify is a process. It's normal to not know for a while. We all go through a process of exploration and crushing on different types of people. Some people are gay and some people are straight. Some people are bisexual, and others don't like to identify with labels that have to do with male and female. Some people are asexual and don't want to be involved romantically and/or sexually at all. There are so many identities and ways to like people, or not, that we all have to figure out. And sometimes it changes over time. You could check out the website Sex Etc. if you're interested in learning more. But I'd encourage you to talk to people who interest you and think about how you feel as you go along. Yeah, but what if other people make fun of me? Unfortunately, there are people at school and in the world who don't understand people who are different from them. And being gay, or lesbian, or bisexual, or anything besides straight can be really challenging because of that discrimination. I want you to know, though, that I'm here for you and support whatever decision you make. And I'd like for you to come talk to me if anyone is ever harassing you. Okay, thanks, Auntie. Providing shame-free support and information to your young person is so important, particularly for LGBTQ+ youth. Consider showing them this video or other positive resources. Explore local chapters or organizations that are supportive. Learn more together. continue talking. But most of all, be sure they know that they're not alone and that they have support. For local North Carolina resources, check out the LGBTQ Center of Raleigh, the LGBTQ Center of Durham, and PFLAG Triangle. If you believe that your LGBTQ young person is suicidal, contact the Trevor Project Suicide Line at 1-866-488-7386 immediately. Thanks for watching. For more information about the Compass Center and sexual and reproductive health, follow us on social media at Compass Center NC, and check out our youth empowerment blog at www.compassctr.org/youth empowerment blog.